Rate. Aisha Hosni live on the Hill with more on what's happening on that front. Aisha, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Bill. Well, now the fight over defense spending begins. In just about 20 minutes at the top of the hour, the National Defense Authorization Act markup will take off, and Republicans are bringing with them more than 50 amendments directly related to the fallout in Afghanistan. And some of this includes things like finding out what equipment we left behind, creating a counterterrorism account specifically for Afghanistan, and restricting Iran from aiding the Taliban. Now, expect a lot of pushback, of course, from Democrats on how much money will go to defense. The Senate Armed Services Committee recently added $25 billion to President Biden's $715 billion proposal. On Monday, though, 27 Democrats sent a letter to the House Armed Services Chairman requesting that the NDAA not exceed the president's offer. They're arguing that right now, America's largest national security threat is actually a global pandemic. But Ranking Member Mike Rogers told me yesterday he thinks he's going to get some bipartisan support on this.
And I know there's a large percentage of the Democrat members of our committee that vigorously oppose the Biden administration's policy to withdraw from Afghanistan. And then there's even a bigger majority of the Democrat members who opposed doing it the way it was done. And so I expect you to see some Democrat support on a lot of these amendments.
Now, Bill, there's also a lot of talk happening about that $6 billion in unspent funds appropriated for training the former Afghan security forces. Armed Services Committee member Rob Whitman says Congress should use that money for counterterrorism in the region, while House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy yesterday said, it should go towards bringing those remaining Americans home, although ultimately he said that it is better left to the NDAA markup. We're told to expect a very long night. Bill?
Aisha, we'll be watching. Thank you much on the Hill. Aisha Hosni, thanks.
We have an inept, incompetent leader, and it starts with Joe Biden and it ends with Joe Biden. And I'm telling you, he should be impeached. And there should be other people within this administration who should be gone. They should all be gone. This is an embarrassment to the United States of America.
Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter expressing his outrage over President Biden's handling of the Afghanistan withdrawal. A poll shows that view is shared by a vast majority of Americans of all political stripes. We've seen it here of ABC News. Joining us now is Democratic Congressman Jake Auchincloss of Massachusetts. He's a Marine veteran who served in Afghanistan, and it's a pleasure to have you on the show. I followed your career a bit, and thank you for serving not only in Congress, but of course in theater as well. One of the reasons I think people are concerned are the Americans that are left behind, including the Sacramento Bee reporting that 24 Sacramento area students are confirmed to be stranded there. Do you have any update as to how the administration plans to get them out?
This administration over the last month conducted the most sophisticated airlift in history. 120,000 people taken out over the course of 30 days at tremendous risk to the U.S. military at HKIA. And persisting that military evacuation just created an incredible force protection issue, as we saw with the terrorist attack last week. And so it's transitioning now to a diplomatic and humanitarian mission. We are committed to getting every American who wants to leave out of Afghanistan. The State Department has been working with Americans for the last several months to assist the vast majority to evacuate. And the Taliban have committed both publicly and privately to allowing egress to all Americans who want to leave.
Do you trust them on that?
Sorry, go ahead, Dan.
The Taliban?
Diplomacy is negotiation without trust. Of course, we do not trust the Taliban, but we do have leverage over the Taliban: humanitarian, economic, diplomatic, and we will continue to use all levers available to us. I would also underscore that the counterterrorism mission persists in Afghanistan. We are going to hold to account anybody who provides a base of operations to terrorists who can strike the U.S. homeland from Afghanistan. And we are going to bring to justice the architects of the atrocity against U.S. service members last week. ISIS-K leadership will pay.
Let's hope. Listen, the military did amazing work. No one's going to debate that. But they did it because they had to. And you know that. They were put in a position where there was no way out, sir. Now, back on July 8th, the commander-in-chief talked about all these promises. No Saigon choppers. That wasn't right. I trust the Afghan military. That wasn't right. Interpreters will be safe. We still know to this day that is not right. And then in August, in the ABC interview, he promised that all Americans would get out. Right now, 90% of those who wanted to leave are out today. In addition, I think we can argue that there's more al-Qaeda in Afghanistan today than there was 20 years ago. So what are we left with here now?
We are left with a counterterrorism mission that persists, and the United States has conducted successfully counterterrorism missions across dozens of countries in Africa, the Middle East, and Central Asia without boots on the ground, with a combination of human and signals intelligence, with unmanned aerial strikes, and with over-the-horizon special operations. We are able to neutralize terrorist targets in countries where we don't have a strong military footprint, and we will continue to do so in Afghanistan.
Are you looking?
We also are leaving a.
Go ahead.
Please.
I
would also say that the legacy in Afghanistan is more complicated than just win or lose. This is a 20-year war. We've seen infant mortality halve, literacy double, 10 times as many kids are in school as they were 20 years ago. The Taliban are taking over a country that's made substantial progress.
Yeah, I think most American people are saying, keep it going. Don't give up.
Yeah, but the Taliban is not saying that. I just want to ask one last thing. You wrote that you do think accountability is necessary in a review, especially about Bagram Air Base. Just a last word on that, please.
Well, just to the previous point, no, the American people do not agree that we should stay in Afghanistan. There have been 4 presidents who have said that they will leave Afghanistan because they know the vast majority of the American people don't want to be there. This is the first president to actually leave Afghanistan. He made a high-integrity decision.
I was not saying the American people want to stay there. That wasn't my point. What they want to do is continue the progress that we've laid there for the past 20 years. Sir, please come back, okay? Thank you for your time.
Thank you
for your service.
Thanks for having me.
All right, in a moment here, President Biden defending that strategy of the country while the U.S. is now relying on the Taliban to get those people out. Senator Dan Sullivan joins us on that in moments. Plus, portraits to honor the 13 service members who made the ultimate sacrifice. That artist using her work to mark the moment. She will join us live next.
Veteran homeowners, if you're ever going to use your VA home loan benefit to get cash, now is the time. Because interest rates are near